Okay, now we're going to start talking about the how to write an engaging copy. And this is something that will come to you and that will you become better and better at with the more practice. And I will just first go over a couple of things that you need to understand before you start writing a copy, and in which cases you will need to write certain type of copy depending on what is it that you're trying to accomplish. So we're going to go over best practices. We're going to go over pastor system, and then we're going to move forward from there, where I will give you example how to write a direct response copy for your Facebook ad if this applies to you. When I say if this applies to you, direct response copy is usually best done for the uh, coaches, influencers, um, online training stuff. Not so much for lead gen, but actually it can be used if done correctly. So I just want to give you a quick rundown of things that you need to look out for, and then just we're going to go from there, and I'm going to give you example. We're going to do step by step example of how to write a copy and how to use the resources that are available to you online. Okay, so let's jump into it right away. So the marketing community has been debating a long time between the effectiveness on long versus short copy. So is it better to write a long copy, or is it better to write a short copy? And usually what it so if and all of this, what I would put it under is basically it depends. It depends on the awareness of your market. So you will see on this slide that we have two extremes. We have most aware and we have a least aware. And just note that this is not set in stone, what I'm going to tell you. It is mostly based on best practices and what we have seen in the market. So I will just go over this really fast. By the way, this is not something that I came up with. This is something that I discovered, and it's what debate has been going on about. So let's look at the most aware. So most aware would basically apply to things as such as things that you don't need to explain to your targeted audience that you're selling or you're trying to get them to convert. So I took an example here of toothbrush, Toyota Camry, haircut, and you can go on and on about this. It could be electrician, plumber, it doesn't matter. So people are really aware of these products, right? They understand what the product is about or what the service is about. So you really don't need to present them with this huge uh, explanation of what the product or what the service is about. They know, right? If they know. The one thing that your audience will want to know is that how is your product or service different or unique from everything else that is out there on the market? And that is something for you to figure out, right? So let's say the toothbrush, right? You have different types of toothbrushes, right? You have different grips, you have different sizes, you have electric toothbrushes, you have hard, soft, medium toothbrushes. So you need to understand, for example, in a case of toothbrushes, how is your toothbrush different than any other toothbrush out there on the market, and how can you get people to buy your toothbrush? So in these cases, you would just use short copy, right? So you would say, for example, our toothbrush is made out of the finest quality materials that we imported from Asia, and we adjusted it to American market, right? You this is just a kind of example on a fly, but you just need to make people wonder, like, why is this toothbrush more special than all the other toothbrushes? Or for example, let's say haircut, right? Why is this particular hairstylist better than all the hairstylists, right? And we will go into how to wake that, explain that to your audience um, in the next section. But you just need to understand that that's what it's about. So awareness of your market is already there, and your market understands what the product or service is about. So in most cases, you want to go with a short copy here. You do not want to complicate it. You don't want to get too cute with your copy here and get it get to the point where you lose the interest of your targeted audience by including complicated words or explanations that do not make a lot of sense to your targeted audience. You want to basically, not to offend anyone, but you basically want to dumb it down, sort of speak. And we all do all of this because audience is aware of what the product or service is about. Another thing that I would like to point it out, that, and I said that at the beginning of this module, is that this is not set in stone. In certain cases, long copy might work better, but again, you're gonna have to decide that based on uh, on what is it that you're trying to accomplish with your copy. Now we have a least aware, right? So least aware would be things that you're pretty certain that your market is not ready for, or they don't know about it, right? And this is a great opportunity for you to explain what your product or service is about with a long copy, right? So you want to explain that in your copy in such a way that keeps your audience engaged with your ad. So when you start explaining that, those first 2 seconds, those first two sentences, or the first sentence, has to be engaging, has to be grabbing, gripping. It has to keep them going on and on reading about these, right? And we will jump on a actual Facebook, my Facebook newsfeed, and we'll try to find something that is engaging, that grabs your attention right away. So, for example, for least aware, I took, for example, genetic coding, right? You might be working with a certain hospital that wants to promote ability of someone to be less susceptible to certain disease if they change this certain gene, right? Uh, or if they want to learn more about it. So this, for example, hospital wants to bring in more uh, patients or clients into their offices by presenting something that's new, that is uh, you know really really groundbreaking in that industry, in that niche. And this is the way to do it. You want to write the long copy and you want to keep them engaged. Or laser teeth whitening, right? Not a lot of people know about that, or and a lot of people would like to know, what is it about, does it hurt, how it's going to help them, how many times they're going to have to do it, how long the benefits will last. Or GPS tracking. For example, you have a device that you can purchase, like a watch that you can purchase for your children, that can give to them, so you know where they're at any given time of the day. But people want to know, like, what can you do? How does it work? Are there any drawbacks? Are there any health concerns? You see where I'm going with this? So people are the more people are aware about something, you want to keep it short and sweet. The less they're aware about something, you want to jump in there and explain in such a way that it's engaging and that keeps your targeted audience reading your copy, right? That's the only way to get them convert, to get them comment, get them to share, get them to click on your ad, click on your link, whatever the case might be. So for those cases, you want to use a long copy. Again, this is in most cases. I'm referring here to the best practices. So you want to make sure that you understand your market, you understand their awareness about your product, and how you go about promoting that product. So that's why I also put the bullet point, think it through. think through the copy that you want to write. What and test it. Do the split testing if your budget allows, to see with which ad and which copy your targeted audience engages the most. And that's going to be a great sign of what works and what doesn't. Keep in mind that with the least aware side of the awareness of your market, your goal is to educate them, right? So when we were talking about the top of the funnel, right, we have a top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel. So this would definitely apply to the top of the funnel, right? You're targeting cold audience. Your audience doesn't know what you're talking about. They want to learn more. You used great creative to grab their attention. Now you need to use great copy to get them to either interact with your ad or to learn more about your product or service. And then hopefully when you get to the middle of the funnel and bottom of the funnel, you will have much higher chances of converting them. So another thing here is also to understand the complexity of your product or service, right? The more complex the product or service is, the more you're going to have to do the educating. The less complex or your product or service is, the less educating you're going to have to do, right? So these two things correlate with each other throughout your copy and your preparation for the copy. So you have to be prepared for that and look at the things from your targeted audience perspective. So don't assume things, make sure that you test these things. That's one of the biggest things. So what you see here is the best framework for copywriting when it comes to either writing a short copy or a long copy. It doesn't matter. These six stages of writing a copy each presents important part in writing that copy. And just to say this, I did not come up with this system. I know it sounds religious, pastor. Actually, that's not what it is. The term came from a guy named Ray Edwards, and I'm just going to open his website here so you can see. It's rayedwards.com. He has a great book that is called Copy That Sells. I highly recommend you reading this book. It talks about these 6 steps in much more detail than I will go over in our presentation. But basically, the important part to understand here is that this guy made a fortune just by following these steps. He worked with huge companies. He did amazing things, and it just works. I just also want to mention that I do not know Ray Edwards. I have not. I'm not going to be reimbursed for or paid to promote this. I'm just giving you really cool things that you need to look into to understand how I apply Pastor system in writing my own copy. So let's go each uh, each part of this framework one by one. So P stands for problem. So you always want to ask yourself, what problem does my service or product resolves? Because when people are buying product or service, they're not doing it for the just the uh, literal type of so we where these fall in. So problem is basically for here is for you to identify and describe the problem in a great detail. So you have to do it in such a way that audience needs to relate to the problem. So in order to do that, you have to understand your audience. You have to understand why are you doing what you're doing. What problem are you solving for them? For example, let's say you writing a lead gen copy for electrician, right? So what are the biggest concerns that the audience has around electrician, right? What problem are they trying to solve? Well, the first problem they're trying to solve is that they're trying to. So people who want to hire electrician, for example, their biggest problem is who are they letting in into their house? Is this some unknown guy or a girl that doesn't have any reviews online? Can they fix their problem? What problem your audience has around electricians? So it's not just fixing electricity in your house. It's also knowing if this guy is licensed, bonded, does he have a history of good work? So it's about safety. This is just an example on the fly. So here's an example that Ray Edwards put in his book, and I'm using it because I don't want to reinvent the wheel, because he already did it for us. This system works. So example that he gives, for problem is, you've tried every fad diet that that's come along. You've started and stopped a dozen different exercise programs, perhaps joined several different gyms, but the truth is you just can't seem to take the weight off or keep it off. Perhaps you're feeling a little disgusted with yourself and your inability to control your eating and your weight. You feel like no matter what you try, it's not going to work. So he relates to his audience, because you also have to look at the things from the perspective of these key words. You've tried indicates that a person failed, right? You've started indicates that person started but didn't finish. A dozen different. Now it compares its program about the diet to all the other exercise programs out there. Then it talks about different gyms. And then it says you just can't seem to take the weight off or keep it off. So he's relating to the problem that a lot of people have, that they might take the weight off, but they cannot keep it off, or they can't even take it off, right? They cannot take the weight off. Now he goes deeper, right? Now he goes deeper into the subconscious, right? He goes into the emotions, right? It's not about weight anymore. Now it's about their looks. He says, you're even feeling a little disgusted with yourself, right? Now he goes into their emotions, how they feel about themselves for not being able to get the weight off and keep it off. And then he says, your inability to control your eating and your weight. So he's kind of indirectly telling them, you are not in control of yourself. So these are really important, like psychological triggers for anyone who reads that, whether they realize that or not. This is extremely engaging. And then he says, you feel like no matter what you try, it's not going to work. So he tries to explain to the audience that he understands their struggles, he understands their shortcomings, and he understands their fears. This is their fear. The fear is that no matter what they try, it's not going to work. Okay, so this is just a short example. Usually these problems are explained in the first sentence in the copy, especially Facebook ad copies, where for example, where someone might write, um, let's say, every electrician that you ever hired uh, turned out to be ex-convict. I don't know. I'm just because that's a problem, right? You're letting someone into your house, and for example, ex-convict who didn't know how to fix your problem, but still charged you an hourly rate because of the work, quotation marks around the work that he did. So it is really important to address this. The problem is always the first thing that will grab readers' attention, because two things can happen. They will relate, they will not relate. There's no middle ground. There's no part where they're like, he's partially right, or it's either it is or it's not. This is the situation where it's black and white, which takes us to the next part of this framework, which is letter A, that stands for amplify. And amplify is basically playing on the insecurity of the reader. Okay, and it's kind of a reverse psychology. Basically, what it does is that it tries to explain the consequence behind not going with the solution or the product or the service you're offering them, right? So what will cost the reader not to solve the problem? What will cause the reader to go and hire an electrician other than the one that you're trying to get the leads for, and they're trying to hire it on their own and not going with your guy, right? So you want to motivate reader by pointing out the consequences of not buying a product or investing in a service. So he also gives example in his book where he says, write down your average monthly income over the last 12 months. Then write down what you want your average monthly income to be. Let's say that your average income is $5,000 per month and your goal is actually to make $15,000 per month in your business. That means the gap between where you are and where you want to be is $10,000 per month. You're paying a cost of $10,000 every month. You don't solve this problem. So basically, he plays on this insecurity of the reader, and not in a negative way. This is great to do. It's just, I don't want you to think of this as a negative, but he's actually presenting the cost of opportunity. This is, in economic terms, this is what's called cost of opportunity. Cost of not buying this service, buying this product is presented in dollar amount here. And he's basically saying for every month that you're not using our product, your cost of opportunity is $10,000. And that's what he says here. You're paying a cost of $10,000 every month you don't solve this problem. Very gripping. Now they want to keep going and reading about what's the solution? Okay, I know what my problem is. You nailed it down. I know what you're telling me about the cost of opportunity, and I agree with you, right? In a case of, let's say, uh, uh, diet here, right? You can point out that, for example, the cost of opportunity for someone who feels disgusted about themselves and who are overweight could be that they miss their true love. They miss a great job opportunity that they didn't feel confident about applying for. I mean, you can point out these literally insecurities in such a positive way that it gets person to be like, oh my God, he's right. I need to read. Whether, again, this is subconscious thinking of the person that's reading this. Which takes us to next part, which is S, which stands for story and solution. Now this is the part where you want to share the story, how problem can be solved. Bear in mind that story must be 100% true, engaging and interesting to read. You do not want to make up stories here. There's always story to tell, and this is what Ray Edwards teaches. Dig deep. For example, let's say we keep going back and forth between electrician and diet, but let's say in case of electrician, right? You can say, for example, if you're targeting women with the electrician, right? A lot of single moms are worried who they're going to let in their house. So you can tell the story about how your client, your electrician that you're trying to get leads for, help this single mom who was in a financial bind by telling her, listen, lady, it's fine. I will fix this for you. You don't have to pay me $150 today. Feel free to pay me $30 over 5 months. And you tell that story. You help your reader connect with the real life situation and what your client has been through, right? Or, for example, in the diet world, in the exercise world, You can tell the story about the person who didn't feel good about themselves, who felt disgusted, who was overweight, and how your exercise and diet program helped them land a better job, be more confident, find the true love. I mean, options here are endless. So he gives example of telling the story of Bob, the frustrated business owner who was on the edge of bankruptcy, whose family had lost faith in him, and who, out of desperation, tried one last idea that saved his business. Is infinitely more powerful than simply saying, "One day, Bob figured out the answer." So Edwards in this part, so this is his quote from the book. So he's showing the difference between telling the story of the business owner who was on the edge of bankruptcy and etc etc. It's much more powerful than saying one day Bob figured out the answer. Here, this is the time for you to relate to your audience once again, right? Mary was a single mom who was physically abused by men and had a fear of letting any other man in her house until she met our electrician, who and she felt confident after talking to him over the phone that he's a gentleman, that he will do what he said that he will do. He will not overcharge her, whatever the case may be. He will not take advantage of her. Tell the story, but just make sure that your story doesn't drag on, right? You want to have it like in a short sentences that people can process. For example, if this was full blown sentence, so you might lose attention of the people on social media, on Facebook. But if you break this up, you can say, Bob, our business owner, who was frustrated, on the edge of bankruptcy, whose family lost faith in him, he tried one last idea that saved his business. Right? You can shorten it down. Again, this all depends on your niche and your service or product that you're trying to promote. And then we go into transformation and testimony. This is the part that will this is the part where the reader, your targeted audience, will make a decision. This is the part that after you identifying their problem, showing them cost of the opportunity if they do not go with your solution, you sharing the story, and then you sharing the testimony, this is the part that's going to make decision, that's going to help make them make a decision in their head whether they want to go with your product or service or not. So important part to remember that people do not buy product or a service. They are buying transformation and experience. And this is the part for you where you can help them visualize it. So what do I mean by that? When you are buying a car, right? We go back to the most aware. When you're buying a car, you're buying an experience. You're not buying a product, right? Experience of buying a car. Let's say you buy Toyota Camry. You buying a car, and your experience about Toyota Camry is that the car is reliable, so you feel relaxed in that car, you believe in that car. Your experience with that car is that you trust the car. It's not a gas guzzler, so your experience is that you're satisfied with the car, because car does not cost you more money than it should, right? Insurance wise, people who drive Toyota Camrys are being less charged for their car insurance than the ones who are driving expensive cars. So your experience is amplified even more, right? So you're saving money with this car. So it's all about the experience, right? Or transformation. Again, let's go back to the diet. Someone transformed their body, someone transformed their life, right? Now they feel more confident. Now they can go for things that they thought they could never go for before. So I could go on and on about this for a long time, but you understand the point behind this is that you understand that transformation and testimony are what's gonna either convert your target audience or it will not. And when I say convert, depending on the part of the funnel that you're in, whatever your desired convert action is, that's what will happen. Okay, so Ray Edwards, in this case, he gives an example that there are three questions people are asking when you sell them coaching, consulting, or instruction about anything. And again, this can apply to any niche, any service, in my opinion. And these questions are, has this person been able to do what they are describing for themselves? Right? If you're saying this is what we did for someone, this is what we did for that person, this person, or even myself, can they back it up? Has this person been able to teach other people to achieve the results they are describing? Right? But again, in the case of service, in a case of electrician or a diet, again, uh, has this person been able to help other people to achieve the result they are describing? Have we fixed the issue for the single mom in a safe and professional manner? Did we overcharge her? We did not, right? Did we help this other lady to lose weight? How did we help her? What did we do for her? And then the third question, will this person be able to teach me or help me how to achieve these results, right? Or will this person be able to help me achieve these results, right? So will we be able to help someone fix their electrical issue in a safe and professional manner without overcharging them? Will will we be able to help this lady lose a weight in such way that she loses weight and keeps the weight off? Again, you just have to look at these things from your own perspective and from the perspective of your own client. So offer basically is the closing part of your sale. All these other previous stages, problem, amplify, story, solution, transformation, and testimony, are are done in such a way that prepares someone for the offer. So this is where we describe exactly what we are offering for sale or what our product or service uh, is. How can it solve the problem? How it can help your uh, your targeted audience understand that, bridge that gap between cost and value, how it can create their own story, how they can become their own story for transformation or a testimony, right? So this is the part where you lay out the offer and make sure that you focus 80% of your offer copy on transformation and 20% on the actual offer. So that means that here, all of this has to be 80% of everything, especially this part. And 20 OR needs to be the actual offer. And then you need to keep going to the benefits of your product or your service. For example, Ray Edwards gives example. So instead of simply writing that the buyer will receive 8 DVDs, each containing a 45-minute workout session, by the way, in my opinion, which is bland, which is like, I don't know, okay, cool. It doesn't engage me. It doesn't tell me right here what I'm getting and how it's going to solve my problem, help me transform and write my own story. You might instead write that they will receive 8 DVDs that each contain a body sculpting, fat burning, transformational workout that will help you craft the lean muscle you really want. You see, again, he's omitting 45-minute workout session because nobody wants to read that something is going to last 45 minutes. And he's transforming it into 8 DVDs that each contain benefits, body sculpting, fat burning, that will help craft the lean muscle that person really wants. You see, going from this just to this will increase conversion rates tremendously. And then from offer, we want to ask for a response. Okay, so this is where you close the sale. And in this case, sale could mean different thing for you. It could be just a simple conversion, someone clicking on your ad, but you always have to keep the sale in your mind. What's the end goal? This is the end goal. The end goal of entire pastor framework is this. This is the goal. We want to make sure that we get a response that we are hoping for from the reader. And this is where you make a request for response. Ask the customer to buy or take desired action. So in Facebook world, this could be shop now, buy now, call now, contact now, book now. It doesn't matter. Click here, view video, visit link. It could mean any slew of any different things, but you want that action from them. That's what you want. And this only applies if you truly believe you have the solution that will solve the problem for people. Then be direct in your approach. This is a typo, I apologize. Then be direct in your approach. You want, if you're 100% sure that everything that you said here is true, everything that you said here is true, 100%, then you will not have a problem selling your product or a service. You should not have that problem. It should be ingrained in you because that's the purpose. That's the purpose of your client. That's the purpose of why you're doing all of this, right? So Ray Edward gives example of you're at the point of decision. You can either continue down the path of least resistance, the path you have already been traveling, or you can choose the road less traveled. So he's again playing a little bit on the fact that in case of diet, for example, that this person can either make decision whether to stay the way they are right now, or they can make a decision to change. The path of least resistance will probably result in you getting the same outcomes you've always received. Yep, and he's amplifying that. So in the way he's telling them, if you do not go with our product or a service, you will not progress, you will not change, you will not transform, you will not bridge the gap between the cost of value and what you can be earning. You will not have that transformation, and you will not have the testimony to say, right? So you will not receive any benefits just by staying the same. But if you want something different to happen, if you want to change the direction of your health or your relationship or your finance, and I personally would add, or your feeling of safety, or your feeling of being taken advantage of, or your feeling of feeling confident, you are going to have to do something different. Make a new choice and pursue your new outcome. And then you tell them exactly what to do next. Click the button below, fill out the order form, and we will immediately ship your entire package to you. It will contain everything you need to get started. So this applies to the gym part, but in case of lead gen would be call us today, right? Or fill out the order form and we will contact you back. And we will immediately contact you back. And then you can add something in the lines of electrician. We are here to serve you, right? Something like that. Something that people. One big trigger word for people is that when they're getting something, people do not want to give; they want to get. So when you say get the best Portland, Oregon electrician on the phone today or right now, right? Or now. Right now it sounds more like a demanding. So now get the best Portland electrician on the phone now. It's like they're getting the best electrician on the phone now. They have direct access to the best electrician in Portland now. At this point, if they click that button, if they submit that form, if they click book now, they get, for example, best personal coach. They get best uh, hairstylist. It doesn't matter. Whatever applies in your niche, that's what you're going to go for. So again, to, to kind of summarize this, you will have these six stages. Do not get lost is that in the fact that you have to have all six. Maybe for you it makes more sense uh, to skip story and solution if you don't have it. It's fine. It might be good in your case that if you don't have a transformation and testimony to skip it, it's fine. But problem and amplify the cost of opportunity, offer, response, it's just going to generate similar results. These will just help them get to that, tipping point of, yes, I need this. Tell me how to get it. What am I getting? How to get it? Okay. I hope all of this makes sense. I know it's a lot of information, but trust me, once you start writing these copies, if you're planning to do them yourself, it will make much, much more sense. Just understand, any copy that you write cannot come from what you think it's going to work. It has to come from what you think it's going to work for your targeted audience. What is it that they want to hear? What is it that they want to do? What problem they want to get solved, and what are the friction points? What are the concerns? Okay? So now there are, when you're building your copy, it doesn't have to be complicated, right? There are resources out there that you can use that will help you write this engaging copy. So what first thing that you want to do is you want to find your client testimonials on your client's website, Facebook page, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn. This will go to that T part, transformation and testimony, of your pastor framework, right? You want to collect those. Then you want to jump on something like Amazon.com, which has amazing database of reviews and the problems that people are facing, whether people are actually realize that or not. And you want to search reviews of the books related to your client's niche. And we will go into this really fast in a second. You want to pay close attention to bad reviews, right? These bad reviews will give you pain points of the audience, right? This part here will help you identify the problem, right? It will help you with that problem and amplify part of the pastor system. You can use these problems for your copy, of course. That's why we're jumping on Amazon and we want to collect as much information as we can. And then for any social media outlet, you can find resources related to your client's niche and check out their headlines and scripts. For example, you can go to your client's competitor and check out their website, check out their Facebook page, check out their Instagram, their YouTube, their LinkedIn, whatever the case might be, and use those as a template. And I urge you, and this is really important, do not copy word for word anything. I'm instructing you to use what's already been working for someone, or what they're already implementing, and transforming it and modifying it so it works for you. Do not copy their creative. You're doing this to see what's working for them and to identify the pain points of the audience, right? You can also ask others. You can also you can ask your audience. Okay, so you can you can go to Facebook groups and ask them what they want to see in their business, what pain points they have, and you can copy and paste their responses in your copy. This is 100% ethical, because that's what you're trying to address. You're trying to address their problems. There is a book called Ask by Ryan Levesque. And Ryan, I will spell it out. It's Ryan, and Levesque is spelled Leves, as the same, Que. That goes into how to ask right questions to get the right answers that will help you understand your audience. So at one point, you're going to be working with a larger client, and you will need to, for example, create a survey to query the audience to understand their pain points and what they're doing, how they're doing, what problems they're facing, what solutions they're hoping for. So that's one of those things that you might need to dig deeper in order to make the successful marketing campaign. And then you also want to identify misconceptions and objections about the niche product or service. So, for example, let's say that case of electrician, right? Misconception could be that electricians are these bad guys. I'm not saying they are. This is maybe a stupid example, but it's just an example for you to understand what I'm talking about. That could be a misconception and objection. The single moms who live by themselves could have objection of having a male electrician come into their house. So you want to address that. You want to understand that. You can use reviews on Amazon and social media outlets to identify these objections and misconceptions and address them in your copy. This is a great way to remove the frictions. So friction is anything that would prevent your targeted audience from converting. And the last thing is that the more you do it, the better you will become in writing a copy. So keep doing it. It's simple as that. Like everything else in life, the more you do something, the better you will become at it, and you want to just keep doing it. Okay? Your first stab at the copy, you might get lucky and it might work out like a charm. But I promise you, I see people in the industry, Facebook ad marketers who I work with, who cannot sell, for example, their product because of their copy, right? So they will write something that's completely misconstrued, that it's completely irrelevant to their product, just because they think it's cool to write something like that. So, for example, they will start their copy with "Hey, honey," and they were trying to sell the beauty product. And when you tell them, "Hey, listen, that's not gonna work because it sounds salesy. It sounds you're trying to become buddies with someone you don't know, who never seen you, and you're addressing them with 'Hey, honey.'" And the worst part, it could be guy behind the ad, which makes it even worse. And then they say, "My client wants that." And I tell them, well, you need to tell your client you're the marketer here, not them. And if they want to work with you, they need to listen to your direction. Anyway, that's beside the point. But I just want to explain the importance of the copy. Oh, by the way, this person, after changing the copy, they saw increase in sale by 27% just by removing "Hey, honey" part. I just kind of wanted to bring that up. Okay, so let's jump into real stuff now. Let me write you let me walk you through how I go about writing an engaging copy. So the two things that you're gonna need: notepad and access to internet. And I know this is kind of silly to say, but just, we need that for research. So if you want to write a copy, most likely you're going to need access to internet to research those reviews on Amazon, YouTube, LinkedIn, social media, whatever the case might be. So what I have done, and this is what I usually do, I just go and I create a notepad and notepad file, and I create these six sections of the pastor framework. I identify the copy and I identify the headline. So I will use these for my ad, right? When I'm done with editing, I will jump in here, just copy and paste into the actual ads manager ad, and basically that's it. And then I know I'm done because I did all my research. I identified the problems, I amplified the cost of opportunity, I presented them with solution, with transformation, then I jumped into offer, and then I'm asking for a response. Okay, so because because we've been talking about beauty products, I decided just to show you how this would look like with the hair transplant products or hair growth products. So I'm going to just jump on Amazon really fast, and I'm going to put in here, let's say my client is the cosmetic doctor that deals with the hair uh, transplants. So let's say hair Let's transplant. So what I'm doing now, I'm trying to find products. Okay, I'm trying to find products that have huge reviews, or books that have huge reviews like this, and I want to see what people are talking about, and at the same time what the product is talking about. Because obviously, for example, if someone purchased 1800 of products, not just one person, but the people have purchased 1800 of products, then it means it works and it has great reviews. So we want to jump in. Let's see, what's this? X Fusion Economy Size Keratin Hair Fibers. Let's see what this product is about. So conceals hair loss. Okay, makes fine hair look instantly thick and full. Great as a root touch-up between colorings. Okay, let's see what we got with reviews. What the question? Okay, so okay. Uh, let's see. I also have my hair color highlight a little. I bought a light blonde. Okay. All Asians. Oh, severe bald spots. Okay. So I had to buy a dimension that is ready to use. Hides bald spots. Okay, so for example, so here we could say hides bald spots very good. Transformation. So let's say she did not to hide, if we target women, bald spots anymore. Okay, we can play this product, right? We can play this product into our advantage. Okay, easy application. I don't think anyone needs to purchase separate applicator. If you're careful, you won't mess up when sprinkling it. Okay, or until there is better. I'm there. Until there is a better alternative. Okay, so we can play this, right? So there's a better alternative. So we can play stop using what is this called? Stop using. So we're trying to, what I'm trying to do here is that I'm trying to identify the problem. Stop using hairsprays, since we have a better long-lasting alternative. So I'm just putting out the problem now, because the problem for them is the bald spots, and we can address that multiple times. So what these people are doing, they're using this spray to hide their bald spots, but they have to spend money every time that this wears out. So with a hair transplant, you don't have to do that. It probably lasts for years, for example. So we're going to play that, right? uh, Never had a problem with it coming off after working out. Okay, so people are having problems with things coming off. Okay, so that could fall under amplify, right? uh, for example, how many times has hairspray came off after after a workout. We will. Okay, money that you spend. Let's see. It comes off completely in shower after shampooing, or completely. Oh, that's good. Anytime hairspray came after your workout, or even after you came out of, or even after you shampooed your hair. Okay. I'm sure if someone gets close to your head and actually looked at it, they notice you had something on, but if you don't tell anyone, they won't notice either. Okay, good. So solution, this would be a solution. Solution if with hair transplant, if someone got close to your head and actually looked at your scalp, they wouldn't notice you wouldn't notice the difference between your real hair and transplant hair. You see where I'm going with this? So you just need to identify these. Maybe just to let you know, this is not set in stone. We might move these things around depending on how we feel about them, where they land. But right now, we're just collecting data, right? We're just collecting what works, what doesn't. If you happen to scratch your head, it will get under your fingernails on your fingers. And if you put sunglasses on your head and then wear them, some fibers might end up on your face. So be aware. Wow. Yeah, I mean, these are all the problems. These are all the problems. So stop using hairspray since okay, well, maybe that's okay. We can say here, hairsprays, hairsprays, hairsprays will with hairsprays if you scratch. Okay, with hairsprays, if you scratch your head, it will get hairspray. If you scratch your head, it will get under your fingernails on fingernails on your fingers. On your fingers. And if you put sunglasses on your head and then wear them, some fiber might end up on your face. Okay, that's a problem. Or if you put sunglasses on your head and then wear them, some fibers might end up on your face. Yikes. This is okay to put because that's a problem, right? You don't even know that fibers are on your face. You look all muddy almost. So yeah, it's minor inconvenience. Yeah, right. Is this product a godsend for those of us who are self-conscious about thinning hair? Wow. Yeah, that's a problem. They're self-conscious about thinning hair. So you are self-conscious about thinning hair. We know you tried every product out there. Okay, you dabbled with hairspray that if you scratch your head, it will get under your fingernails or on your finger. Okay, or on your fingers. Or if you put sunglasses on your head and wear them, some fibers might end up on your face. Yikes! Stop using hairspray since we have a better long-lasting alternative. And we can maybe, I don't know if this is true. I don't know how many they can use, but let me see how much this one costs. So this one is $28.19. So people take shower at least 3 times a week. So each time, so how long can this last for? Let me see. Instantly, okay. How long? Maybe there's a question here. How long can the bottle last? Does this okay? Before I would like to clarify the size. If this product, thank you. Sorry. So this is the part where we want to jump in and see. Work okay. I just want to see how long can it last. How the okay. What happens when it's hot and your head starts to sweat? Whoa, that's a big issue. Or okay, it lasts me a little over a month with using about 4 times a week. Don't really like to use when I'm just hanging at home. Can be messy, but it works. A little over a month. So basically, a yearly they spend around $350, right? If this bottle is 20, basically $28 times 12, it's gonna come out to around 200, 340, $350. So uh, hair transplant could be let's see, I just want to see cost of hair transplant other than, let's see, 4,000 to 15,000. These are all out of pocket. Okay. Uh, so I just want to see if we say that it's cost effective. I want to make sure that that's true. I don't want to. We don't want to present false information here, which is you know. Come on, what's going on? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's see. Plenty of, okay, how much the treatment cost, where you live, the type of procedure, the scale, how much your travel cost, how much it cost, alternatives, the bottom line. Yeah, you can, okay. That's good. Okay. Okay. I don't know if, okay, how long does a hair transplant last? Uh, okay. Okay. So that's good. It definitely lasts longer. So they don't have to worry. So we can put, we might not want, I don't want to put financial here. Maybe we can get dinged by Facebook also. So stop using hairspray since we have a better long lasting alternative. We can give you your real hair back, right? Because the hair transplant will help them do that. What's the cost of opportunity, the time they wasted with this, right? Yeah. Okay, my hairdresser introduced me to this, and I love it. Thinning hair made some styles impossible wear, but I'm able to style as I like without worrying about my scalp shining through. Some finesse is required to get the right look, and it's important to remember this is something that is not permanent, so it may rub off at night. Okay, okay. So, so we want to amplify. How many times has hairspray come off after your workout, or even after you shampooed your hair, right? Or hair, a lot. How many times has hairspray come off after your workout or even after you shampooed your hair? You do not want to spend your time worrying about whether the hairspray whether the hairspray will come off. Time and worry. Time you spent time you spent using the hairspray and money you spent can be significantly decreased. Just imagine not worrying about whether your bald, bald spots will show up or if after shower you will come out looking differently. Not, not, uh, okay. If, no. Get time and money back. No, we don't want to say money back. Get, get time. Get that valuable, valuable time back with hair transplant. You will not have to worry again about your hair. Okay, that's just I'm just dropping some I'm just dropping in some lines that I think will amplify the cost of opportunity here. How many times has hairspray came off after your workout or even after you shampooed your hair? You do not want to spend your time worrying about whether the hairspray will come off. Time you spent using the hairspray and money you spent can be significantly decreased. Just imagine not worrying about whether your bald spots will show up or if after shower you will come out looking differently. Get that valuable time back with a hair transplant. You will not have to worry again about your hair. Okay, good. So it presents the cost of opportunity in the terms of time and the stress, right? Financial claims on Facebook are not something you want to do. So I don't want to pound too much on that financial aspect of it, but I mean, if the hair transplant, and I didn't do, deep research here, but if the hair transplant is lasts for a lifetime or even 5 years or something like that, it's definitely better considering all the time, the cost of opportunity, the worrying, the stress, washing your bed sheets, washing your shirts because the spray wears off. Okay, so now we want to jump into the solution. I'm just going to pause here for a quick second. Okay, I'm back. So for the solution or story, okay, so we want to probably drop this under transformation. She did not have to. So here's part where you would tell a story or a solution. We might. I'm just thinking because I don't have anything right now. I don't have the actual transformation. Let's see if we can find something here. A real self. This is a really good website, by the way. The here's will always remain. Okay. Uh, okay. Okay. Let's see if there's a. So let's go to his website. Let's see. Wow. Come on. You got this. Okay, hair transplant. There must be some testimonials. Before, after, awesome. Okay, is this right for me? Blah blah blah. Okay. What's this? Okay, Amir is the most reassuring, kind, and down-to-earth consultant I could ever have met. Has changed my life completely. Okay, this is a story. Again, I would not use his story, but I will for the sake of this training. But if your client has these stories, you want to use them. That's basically the point about it, right? So story, we're gonna jump in here. uh, so after years of suffering due to a childhood accident causing it to cause psychological problems in later life, John, no John, let's do Mary, decided it was time to find someone that could help her. Okay. uh, After my wife researching specialist burn consultants, we decided to Amir, who instantly reassured us the moment we all met. Amir is the most reassuring, kind, down-to-earth consultant I could ever met. He has changed my life. Okay. Um, So we want to get rid of all of this. Hair transplant has changed my life. Has has changed Mary's life completely. Uh, Mary feels more confident, beautiful, uh, assured of her future looks, and I don't like that. Assured of her future looks. I'm just gonna leave it there for now, but I'll get back to it. I don't like it. So let's see. You will not have to worry again about your hair. After years of suffering due to a childhood accident causing it to cause psychological problems in later life, Mary decided it was time to find someone that could help her with her bald spots. Hair transplant has changed Mary's life completely. So after years of suffering, this is good. So people who are conscientious about their hair, they are actually suffering. This is good. And it can cause them psychological problems in later life. Mary made a decision. It was time to find someone that could help her with her bald spots. And hair transplant has changed Mary's life completely. Hair transplant done by, I'm going to put here, our client, changed Mary's life completely. Now Mary feels more confident, beautiful, uh, more confident, beautiful, and uh, oh man, I'm sorry guys, I'm drawing blank here. I don't know. Now Mary feels more confident, beautiful. Wow. This is what will happen. This is the part where we jump in back and we see what people feel like when they're using either products or these treatments. So yeah, if you have that, writer's blackout, yeah, just makes you get okay, dear imp, I've lost so much hair that I went out and bought a wig. I was okay to. She uses this on her sister who has Down syndrome. She said that although her sister didn't care, she wanted her to look her best. Okay, okay, so maybe we can look her best. Now Mary feels more confident, beautiful, and she looks her best. Okay, well, it's not perfect, but it will do. It will do. Okay, now we want to go back to the offer, and offer here says describe exactly what you're offering for sale. Okay, so that's exactly what we're going to do. And for that, I don't need more problems and testimonial stories and whatnot. I need the problem. So hair transplant. I want to see what product can actually. Let's see. Instant hair loss treatment. Okay. Okay. Let's see product description. Uh, no one will know you're using these unless you tell them. Unless they. So what are we offering? We're using the laws of raw material called. Okay. Oh, this is good. You remember when we were talking about that toothbrush example of the reason why you sometimes want to write a longer? For example, see, like they using raw material called Moroccan Gossypium herbicum. This is Latin. Yeah, this would be a great example if your toothbrush, if you're presenting a product that has a that it's toothbrush and you want to show that uh, this unique fibers that you're using for the toothbrush. This is a great way to do it. The fiber extracted from this plant is on blah blah blah. It's because of that we're able to make it unlike any other you've seen. Okay, 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 okay. Okay, so for example, you could say here it's because of our our long it's because of our 15 years of experience in hair transplants. We are able to make guarantee unlike any other you've seen, right? So we want to make sure that that we, let's see if we can jump in here. Let's see if this guy offers any guarantees. Need a cosmetic surgery. Okay. What are the benefits? Greater self-confidence, permanent solution to hair loss, feels and looks natural, fast results. Okay. Uh, we guarantee you will feel more beautiful. Your we guarantee that our procedure will give you permanent solution to hair loss that will feel and look natural. Results will be so fast that will surprise you. Okay. This will also result in greater greater self confidence. We do not expect you to be shy about your new hair. Okay, cool. Okay, now we want them to reply to us, right? We want them to say, so, no, we don't want to say so. So, we'll jump on Facebook. We'll jump on Facebook here, transplant. Let's see. Gary McNall shows off hair transplant in Turkey. Awesome. Let's see. I want to see posts. Maybe we can get some ads. After water transformation, hair revival. Istanbul, Cosmo hair. Okay, the hair clinic. Okay, that could be interesting. Let's see how many people. 1800. Not. Let's see posts. So what are you looking for? Okay, dreams are becoming reality. Okay. A successful hair transplant can change your life. Okay, wow. Okay, that could be a headline. Successful hair transplant can change your life. Not bad, not bad. Okay. Let's see what else have they done. I do not know how to read that, so we're gonna skip that. Probably, oh my god. Please use English. Okay, okay, that's not gonna. Let's see. Hair transplant. Okay. Let's see, what is this? What's this? Mayo Clinic. Uh, okay, so we could say, okay, decision about your future starts now. Decision about your future. That's too direct. Needs to happen now. It's too direct. It almost sounds salesy and pushy. I don't want that. Hair loss should not be the reason for you not to be your best self when there is a solution available. We offer basically we're able to guarantee like any other you've seen. We guarantee our transparency. Yeah. We offer multiple financial options that will make it easy for you to have new lush hair. Hair loss should not be the reason for you not to be your best self when there is a solution available. Click call us. So here's call to action, right? So I'm just going to put call to action here. So you can put call us today for a free consultation. Okay, time to change your life. Time to change your time to eradicate baldness. Time to eradicate baldness from your life. It's like a fight, right? They see it as a disease, so you want to play that. So we want to eradicate it, right? We want to kill it. So it's a strong word, this eradicate. Time to eradicate baldness from your life can start today. Call us for again, call us, submit a form for a free consultation. We will be happy to partner with you on changing your I don't want to say looks or appearance. Nah, appearance too cold. Sounds too cold. We will be happy to partner with you. Partner also to work with you. We'll be happy to help you. Help you sounds much more nurturing. To help you on this journey. We are in this together. It might not be, I might change my opinion about this, but basically this is the copy, right? So what I would do right now, a successful hair, and so this is your headline, right? So this is a successful hair transplant can change your life. So you want to use alt codes here, not smileys. So you want to probably put a couple of stars on each side, and you want to do that here. So a successful hair transplant can change your life. That's good. That's good. I like that. So this is actually copy. I should have put this here. Now what you would do, so let's see, what's the problem? Let's just go over this really fast again. You're self-conscious about thinning hair. That's a problem, right? They're self-conscious. We know. You tried we don't want to say that. You tried every product out there. You dabble with hairspray that if you scratch your head, it will get under your fingernails or on your fingers. Or if you put sunglasses on your head and then wear them, some fibers might end up on your face. Yikes. Stop using hairspray since we have a better long-lasting alternative. We can give you your real hair back. Okay, so that's a problem. How many times has hairspray came off after your workout or even after you shampooed your hair? You do not want to spend your time worrying about whether the hairspray will come off. This is the worry. Yeah, time worrying. So they're spending time and stressing out. Time you spent using the hairspray and money you spent can be significantly decreased. Okay, I will leave that for now. I might change my opinion later. I need to maybe sleep on this, but this is just an example. Just imagine not worrying about whether your bald spots will show up or if after you shower you will come out looking differently. Just imagine not worrying about whether your bald spots will show up or if if shower or if shower will wash away the hairspray. Get that valuable time back with get that valuable time back. Get that valuable stress free time back with hair transplant. You will not have to worry again about your hair or your looks. After years of suffering due to a childhood accident causing it to cause psychological arousal in later life, Mary decided it was time to find someone that could help her with her bald spots. Hair transplant done by Ahmed in this case, because we saw him, has changed Mary's life completely. Now Mary feels more confident, beautiful, and she looks her best. With hair transplant, if someone gets close to your head and actually looked at your scalp, they would notice the difference between your real hair and transplant hair. Your life will change. That's a claim. I can't make claims on Facebook ads. I might. So this is a good example. It might. This might be this transformation part. If you remember when we were talking about the transformation testimony, you know, we kind of covered this in the story. Has this person be able to do what they are describing for themselves, right? So we have been able to do that for Mary. Did we teach her? No. Did we help her? Yeah, we did, show her that. Will this person be able to teach me how to achieve these roles? Can this person help me? Yes. And it's kind of offer and transformation kind of blended into one. I don't like this. I don't want this. I don't want that there. So I'm just going to put that transformation and offer are same in this case. They're not same. They're kind of blended, and you can do that. But it's kind of transformation is also part of this. It's because of our 15 years of experience in hair transplant that we are able to make a guarantee unlike any other you've seen. And this is authority amplifier, huge. We guarantee that our procedure will give you a permanent solution to hair loss that will feel and look natural. Results will be so fast that will surprise you. Awesome. Everybody wants fast results, right? This will also result in greater self-confidence, so we do not expect you to be shy about your new hair, right? We want them to strut around. We offer multiple financial options that will make it easy for you to have a new lush hair. Hair loss should not be the reason for you not to be your best self when there is a solution available. Time to eradicate baldness from your life can start today. Starts today, not can. Can. If you say can start today, it almost sounds you're giving them options. But if you say from your life starts today, means you're telling them you're subconsciously affecting their decision to call you. So call to action. Call us for a free consultation. We will be happy to help you on this journey. We are in this together. We are in this together. People, we will be happy to help you on this journey. We are happy. We not will be. We are happy to help you on this journey. So that's it, guys. That's basically it. So what you would do, in my opinion, I know this is kind of lengthy video, but it's really extremely important. So in this case, the what you would do, and this is by no means perfect, you would have a picture. I would test two copies, right? The one copy would be targeted at men. The other one would be targeted at women. One would have a creative of men or even testimony of a man doing this procedure. The other one would have a hopefully video testimony of a female doing the procedure, and I would split test them that way, right? So in this case, you would change Mary to John. You would just change hers or she to his or his, and that's basically it. And then you would split test them, and you would just take it from there. So basically, that's it. I hope I hope this makes sense. So let me see. So yeah, that is it. I just show you kind of couple of tricks how to go about this. It took me maybe less than an hour to write this, and I wasn't even preparing. I don't know anything about this niche. I just decided to give it a shot because I know that hair transplant is like $100 billion industry right now. So feel free to ask any questions, post it on our Facebook group, and I will see you guys in the next video.